Yo, what's up guys? I'm V, and today I will be showcasing the Hammond collection Irritator from Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder. Okay, so for those of you who don't know what Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder is, basically, it's like the very first Jurassic Park park building game that was ever made. I know a lot of people think the first Jurassic Park park building game was Operation Genesis due to how popular it is, but actually, I believe in 2001, 2 years before that game came out, was Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder. Basically, this was a Game Boy Advance game that was 8-bit, and you're able to make your own park, and there was over 100 species in the game. It was insane. And of course, one of these species was, of course, the Irritator. And it's really nice that instead of making a generic color scheme or a generic sculpt, Mattel decided to stick with the design from that game. So really nice, actually. I know a lot of people want canon species in this line, and believe me, I do too, but occasionally getting a non-canon species is also really nice. Of course, as we all know, this figure ended up being really rare. In fact, I believe it can actually range up to over $100 online. Fortunately though, when this figure first released, I decided to go on the Mattel Creations website and get it there. I don't know what made me do that, but I really wanted this figure and I didn't feel like waiting for it to come out of stores, so I got it online, and boy am I glad I did that, because this figure, if you want to get this figure today, unfortunately it's going to be really difficult. So there is that about this figure. So looking at the head of the figure, of course it is primarily a gray color, but you got some black among the snout leading up to the eye, and the eye is encased in black. Of course, the eye is orange with a black round pupil. On the top of the figure, you got the red crest, of course, of the Irritator. On the bottom jaw, it is white, of course, with some black. And then opening up the jaw, both jaws can open, upper jaw and lower jaw. And inside, really neat how it is all gloss. You got a separate piece for the tongue and the roof of the mouth, as well as another separate piece for the teeth. So instead of all being painted, they're all just separate pieces glued in together. Personally, I think it makes the figure look 10 times better. Going down the neck, of course, you got some white airbrushing with some yellow striping. Continuing on down to the body, as you can see, there's a rough pebbly texture. You can see some of the rib cage. You got the very small sail with some more yellow striping. The arms are really nicely sculpted. Oddly enough, this finger is kind of broken. I don't know what's going on with that finger, but really nicely sculpted. Same thing on the other side overall. Yep, basically same sculpt, just mirrored. Got the rough pebbly texture. On the leg, you got some pebbly texture on top. Going down, you got more of a skin texture, and then of course you got the scoots on the feet. All the claws are painted and glossed, which is really nice. Got some more airbrushing on the bottom. Unfortunately, the airbrushing does stop around the butt area. On the back, you got some more skin texturing. Moving along on the tail, of course the tail is indeed rubber, but really nice, it is actually flat instead of being round. So it gives that a little bit more of a Spinosaurid, scientifically accurate tail, which is pretty nice and different. Of course, you also got some more skin texturing and what I believe might be scarring. I'm not for sure what's going on there. Of course, the whole tail has a little bit more a pebble, skin, scale texture to it, going all the way down. Unfortunately, the paint only stops about less than midway down the tail. Of course, same exact thing on the other side. And overall, really nicely sculpted figure. I will admit, this is actually probably one of my favorite Hammond collection figures to come out in this line. So as for articulation with the figure, of course the upper jaw can go up, lower jaw can go down, can give a really wide roaring, I guess, or you can just have the bottom jaw go down and make it a little bit more accurate. You can have the head rotate up and down and swivel just slightly. The bottom of the neck can also just swivel and go up and down and side to side, basically like a ball joint. Going down the arms, of course they can go in and out and rotate, as well as the elbows. No wrist articulation, unfortunately. Same thing on the other side. The legs, of course, just like every other Hammond collection figure, they can like swivel, they can go in and out. Knees can move, ankles can move, feet can move. Literally just exact same posability on every other figure. And of course, the tail is rubber. It's on a ball joint so it can swivel, and it can bend with the wire inside it. So overall, this is a really nice Hammond collection figure. I believe Mattel really knocked it out of the park when it came to making this guy. Just unfortunately, it's just so rare. That's the main downside of it. But when comparing this to other figures, this is of course another medium-sized carnivore figure. So when comparing it to the Baryonyx, as you can see, it's relatively the same size. I want to say it's shorter. I mean, you got the sail, which of course makes it taller, but from the baseline, it's actually shorter than a Baryonyx. Something I find funny though is that when comparing the newer Hammond collection figures to the older Hammond collection figures, you can really see how far they've gone. I mean, just looking at the Irritator, you can see all the pieces in the mouth are separate. They have their own base pigments and they look really nice. But then you got like the Hammond collection Baryonyx, where, okay, I mean the inside of the mouth is different, but the teeth are all painted. I mean, just look at the teeth. I mean, the teeth are literally sculpted with the head, and not only does that make them look really big and bulky due to the fact that they can't really be too small in the molding process, but I mean, you also got some like overlay when it comes to paint and all that. But when it comes to looking at the Irritator, I mean, the teeth are a separate piece, so they can be a lot more smaller and defined, and they have a base pigment with the plastic, so there's no like need for painting, and it just looks so much more cleaner. And of course, here is the Irritator compared to a human figure. As you can see, it actually sizes up pretty well to a human figure. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's a pretty good size. Yeah, it's good. Alright, but that was the Jurassic Park 3 Park Builder Hammond Collection Irritator. Man, is that a long name to say. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you liked this video, please leave a like. And if you enjoyed this video, if you're new to this channel, please subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Help me, help the channel, help everybody. Also, if you liked this video, please leave a like. It'll tell me like when I'm doing good, when I'm doing wrong. It really helps out. But besides that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.